Thanks so much, Rob. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Norris, the operations coordinator and narrator for Team Oracle, featuring longtime Rhode Island favorite, none other than Mr. Sean D. Tucker, who you can see if you look up above, starting 3,400 feet above the ground, is diving into the aerobatic box for what he considers to be a nice, easy, early morning practice flight. If the folks here at Quonset had been unable to allow this practice window, Sean would have sailed flat in his aircraft, taken off close to the area approximately 20 miles away, and rehearsed his full routine for approximately 25 minutes in order to give you the best performance possible when he comes back on stage later this afternoon at approximately 2 o'clock. I think Rob had mentioned earlier that this is all new aircraft that he's on flying. It looks very similar to the one but believe me, it is a completely new machine, a revolutionary machine. This aircraft weighs in at barely 1,227 pounds. And watch now as Sean performs a forward flip and then rolls his way over the top. This aircraft weighs in at barely 1,227 pounds, and it is powered by more than 400 horsepower. High performance aerobatic biplane in the world today. Some of the unique features on this aircraft are the fact that it has 4 wings, but for those of you that know anything about airplanes, most of you it has 8 ailerons. Each wing has 2 ailerons, each moving at a different rate. The outboard ailerons have full travel, the inners are slightly shorter, and they move about 2/3 the amount of the inner. That allows Sean to do some of the low-speed, high-torque flying that you're going to see throughout this morning's rehearsal and during the full performance later this afternoon. In addition, this aircraft has a all carbon fiber construction, and it has a deflection on the elevator of more than 45 degrees up and 45 degrees down. And watch closely now, 0 forward airspeed hard, full left rudder, as Sean completes not 1, but 2 consecutive hammerhead turnarounds. Now he pushes away from the crowd, experiencing over 6 negative Gs at the bottom end of that maneuver. This is, in fact, a fabric-covered biplane, just like what was built in the 20s and the 30s. The wings are made of wood, the ailerons are made of wood, the fuselage is a steel construction covered in fabric. This aircraft has been flying for less than 3 months, and in that time it has already accumulated more than 115 flight hours and has made well over 200 training flights with Sean D. Tucker at the controls. Right now, Sean will tell you that he is still learning exactly what this aircraft is capable of. He's got it pretty well figured out. He's got a few maneuvers he's working on that you'll be seeing later this afternoon. Right now, the centrifuge takes him tumbling across the aerobatic box end over end. For those of you who have seen Sean fly in the past, you've seen without, probably undoubtedly, the triple ribbon cut maneuver that Sean's going to do. So right now we're going to reach him live in the cockpit and let him tell you all about it. Sean D, you're on.
Hello, Brian. Good morning. Are we looking or what? Did you see those clouds clear for those Black Daggers to come down? We got an Airshow going on, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, as long as we keep taking good times and keeping airplanes in the sky constantly, we'll keep moving this air around, and I think we're going to get a show in. It's so important, that's why I'm up here, besides I just love to fly. That last, in fact, I'm going to do the Holy Hot Fire 2 first.
of Sean D. Tucker and the all-new Oracle Challenger 3. Sean's going to set up for landing, but he is going to be back later this afternoon at approximately 1:50 to give you his full 15-minute power aerobatic routine, including the world-famous triple ribbon cut, where Sean is going to slice 3 ribbons, which we're going to suspend over the runway in 3 separate flight attitudes in 1 single pass. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the day kicked off for real. We're going to turn things over to my buddy, Mr. Rob Ryder.
Thank you, Brian Norris. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sean D. Tucker and Brian Norris from Port Orange, Florida. Brian Norris, in his own right, is a great aerobatic pilot, and he flies this airplane as well. But not in the shows. That's all Sean D. Tucker, and you will see more of Sean D. Tucker in a little bit. Want to say a great big thank you to Al Cerrone and Cerrone, Chevy, GMC, and Buick for his support over the last 20 years of this show. Cerrone, you'll be glad you did. Make sure you check them out. They've got their display here in the static display area, and you can see a lot of those great companies. The 126th Aviation Theater Airlift Company. It's a light cargo aircraft. It can carry up to about 7,300 pounds of people or cargo, and up to 30 passengers, as I mentioned before. They're going to make one more pass and bring it into land. Mark D'Souza, CW4 is the pilot in command. CW4 Jim Ryan is the co-pilot. They're both from North Kingstown, and